Okay, now in the topic WTO, that is World Trade Organization, we were going through the agreements of WTO. So far we have completed trips, we have completed trims, we have completed even the pros and cons of both the agreement. And today we are going to understand about the another agreement that is called as GATS, GATS. And the full form of GATS is General Agreements on Trade in Services. This particular agreement has been made or entered by the member nation for export and import of services exclusively. Right? Many a times it has been noticed that it is not only the goods which are getting imported or exported from one country to another, but there is even heavy demand of the services from one country by the another country. So here it is very much necessary to make some agreement and to make it smooth for the countries to buy and sell the services from one another. So this particular agreement exclusively has been made to remove the obstacles on the path of import and export of services especially. So here it is given that this agreement requires member countries to liberalize or open up the service sector. That means over here, all the member countries, they have tried their level best to liberalize the policy. That means they tried to remove the formalities or whatever obstacles they used to apply for buying and selling of services, that they have liberalized, that they have removed to certain extent, and then they have opened the service sectors. And then members are free to choose which sector are to be progressively liberalized, which mode of supply would apply to a particular sector, and to what extent that liberalization will occur over a given period of time. So this paragraph is explaining that some sort of a freedom was given to the members as well, right? Members were allowed to choose their own sector, that where they want the liberalized policies, and at the same time they also allowed their members to choose the mode of supply. Mode of supply means how they are going to supply their services, and at the same time for how many years the liberalization will continue. That means here members were not forced to go for the specific policies. It was given, the options were given to the members that what kind of mode they want to select for that. So this particular general agreements on trade was generally was, you can say, supporting the developing countries, because developing countries are not in a position to make the goods in, very at the very high quality, or at the as per the requirement of the developed countries, but they are able to provide their services to them. So that is the reason this particular agreement came into existence, and it really helped the developing countries, especially India got lot of benefit from this particular agreement. Now let us see that how these services are getting provided or getting sold. There are modes. These are four modes of supply your own services to another country. जैसे हम लोग गुड्स को कैसे सप्लाई करते हैं, रोडवेज, एयरवेज, रेलवेज और थ्रू waterways, that are the modes of supply of the goods. But when you want to sell your services, services are intangible. How you can sell that, right? So there are four modes. Mode 1, it is known as cross border supply. Cross border supply. I'm just giving you one example. Let us say one teacher who is living in US, and there is one student who is in India who wants to get guidance from that teacher who's there in US now, right? There may be, some sort of research work is going on, and the person who is from India wants to get the services of the teacher who's living in US. So what they will do, through internet they will connect with one another. That means the person who is living in India is purchasing the services of a person who is living in USA. Similarly, from India also there are so many teachers who are taking online lecture for the foreign countries. That is called as cross border supply. By sitting in your own country, you are able to buy and sell the services through internet or through some online mode. That is called as cross border supply. Now here what the meaning they have given, they are saying that services delivered within the territory of the member from the territory of another member. That means, both the member countries are, the people are living or sitting in their own territories, in their own areas, and they are able to enjoy the services. So this is a very first and very common mode of cross-border supply, right? Cross-border supply. You must have heard about the BPOs and all, or the call centers and all. So what we are doing, we are providing services to the foreign customers by sitting in India. That is called as cross-border supply. Then another one is consumption abroad. Over here, what the service providers they do, they come to the country where they want to sell the service, and by sitting in the territory of that member nation, they sell the service. That is called as consumption abroad. Now what is the meaning they have given? That services delivered outside the territory of the member in the territory of another member to a service consumer of the member. एक एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं, यूएसए का एक मैन्युफैक्चरर जिसने कुछ ऐसी चीजें बनाई जो इंडिया में बहुत ज्यादा यूज हो रही। अब इंडिया में जब वो चीजें यूज होंगी तो उसका आफ्टर सेल सर्विस भी चाहिए। तो उस पर्टिकुलर कंपनी ने क्या किया, अपना एक सर्विस स्टेशन इंडिया में भी ओपन कर दिया। दैट मीन्स वो जो सर्विस स्टेशन है वो वहां से आउटसाइड है, उस पर्टिकुलर कंट्री में नहीं है, पर वो कहाँ है, इन द टेरिटरी ऑफ अनदर मेंबर। वो सर्विस स्टेशन उसने वहां पे स्टार्ट किया जहां पे सर्विस कंज्यूमर चाहिए, जहां पे वो जो कंज्यूमर है जो वहां पे रह रहा है उस मेंबर नेशन का, उसको उन्होंने वो सर्विस प्रोवाइड करके दिया। दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कंजम्पशन अब्रॉड। आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दीज टू। दोनों का फर्क आपको समझ आया? पहले में क्या था, क्रॉस बॉर्डर, बाय सिटिंग इन देयर ओन टेरिटरीज the member nations were supplying and they were getting the services online. But in case of consumption abroad, the service provider is actually crossing his own territory. He is coming into the territory of another member nation where the consumers are living and he is providing services to them. I hope these both the things are clear to you. Can you confirm me that you are understanding these two, mode 1 and mode 2? See, these things are very important because these things can be asked in the form of MCQs. So please make sure that you are understanding mode 1, cross-border supply, mode 2, its consumption abroad. Is it clear? Okay. Okay. So now we are proceeding for mode 3, commercial presence. Commercial presence. Now over here, we are able to sell our services not online, physical only, but even without crossing our own boundaries. By sitting in our own territory, by sitting in our own area, we are able to provide the service to the foreign customers and not through online. How it is possible? That is possible when these people, those who want our services, are visiting our own territory. Right? जब foreigners इंडिया में आते हैं तब वो इंडिया की काफी सारी सर्विसेज के बारे में भी बेनिफिट लेते हैं। वो हमारा ट्रैवलिंग का सर्विस एंजॉय करते हैं, हमारे जो भी टूरिज्म के जो भी पॉइंट्स है वो सारे एंजॉय करते हैं, पर उसे हमें पैसे भी देते हैं। दैट मीन्स क्या हुआ, सर्विसेज हमारे इंडिया में ही थे पर वो लोग उसे कंज्यूम करने के लिए यहाँ आए। उसी तरीके से अगर हम किसी फॉरेन कंट्री में जाते हैं तो हम वहाँ की सर्विसेज लेते हैं, वहाँ पे हम लोग ट्रांसपोर्ट सर्विसेज एंजॉय करते हैं, वहाँ पे कई बार अगर जॉब वगैरह करते हैं तो वहाँ का बैंक का सर्विस भी लेते हैं, इंश्योरेंस का सर्विस भी लेते हैं। सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कमर्शियल प्रेजेंस। Commercial presence. So what the meaning they have given, they say that services delivered within the territory of the member, वो अपने टेरिटरी में ही है, थ्रू कमर्शियल प्रेजेंस ऑफ द सप्लायर। मतलब जो सप्लायर है वो फिजिकली वहां पे मौजूद है और कस्टमर भी वहां पे आ गया है और वहां पे चीजों की सप्लाई हो रही है. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कमर्शियल प्रेजेंस, राइट? दैट इज मोड 3, commercial presence. Then the last mode is presence of natural person. Over here, what the meaning says that services delivered within the territory of the member with the supplier present in a natural person. That means physically they have started their own company. Physically they have started their own, you can say, the service company in the another country, and then they are selling the services to them. For example, Citibank is a foreign bank and they are selling the services. So over here we are enjoying those services by sitting in India, because these services are made available in our territory. That is mode 4. That is very expensive actually. When you want to start your own service station, with the physically by appointing everything and all, then you have to follow certain rules. So this agreement is making all the members to liberalize the rule to certain extent, so that every member country should get the chance to start their service center to others. But again, the choice has been given to the member nation that what and to what extent they want the liberalization. अगर इंडिया चाहता है कि नहीं, ज्यादा से ज्यादा फॉरेन कंपनीज नहीं आने चाहिए सर्विसेज के लिए, नहीं तो हमारा डोमेस्टिक बिजनेस काफी असर हो जाएगा, then India can say that no, we will not be making so many liberalized policies, but we will be making no the certain restrictions on that. So that is up to them. That is up to them. This is how they can do that. So this is called as mode of services, how they are going to supply: cross border supply, consumption abroad, commercial presence, and presence of natural persons. I hope you have understood this part, and the remaining part of the chapter we will understand in our next period.